and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Good morning, Bakers, and welcome to Wake and Jake in the Morning. Myself, Jake Storielli, producer David Mendelson. Real names today. It's playoffs. Can't hide behind your talking Jakes or your big booty Judy Davids or whatever you're operating on under the internet these days. The playoffs are real. They are set. Wild card week. 1-game playoffs coming up. Yanks, Sox both needed to win and get in. The National League was set. And the American League was hoping for a little bit of chaos. Jeff Passan sure was. Uncle Jeff wrote like a sad article today that there's not a 163. Like, come on, brother Jeff.
Still got a good situation.
We had some fun. Let's walk you through it. Maybe I'll walk you through in real time the games that mattered yesterday. And the games started at the same time. Baseball, one of their... the rare baseball W is all their games starting on the same time on the last day, so there can kind of be no funny business. The New York Yankees played the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. And oh my God, Jameson Taillon, our friend of John Boy Media, he goes out his second start after being hurt, and he got hurt in his first start back. He goes out, he gives everything he's got. He goes 3.1 shutty, 45 pitches. Again, not built up, nothing, just fighting out there against the Tampa Bay Rays, the 100-win Tampa Bay Rays, trying to spoil the Yankees season. Michael Wacha was gross, kind of. The Yankees, they just don't hit. When they don't hit, they so much just don't hit. Which led into the Rays bullpen. Chargois, friend of John Boy Media, Colin McHugh. Chad Green comes out, not looking like the sharpest Chad Green, but Gio Urshela makes a play for the ages. If you haven't seen it, it is one of the things you need to look up today. He runs over from the shortstop position in a shift, so there's nobody on the third base side of him. He runs 128 feet, makes the running catch, falls into the dugout. One of the more exciting catches I've ever seen. I don't know if you say best or the right way to phrase it. He went full speed into the Rays dugout. If you haven't seen it, go look that up. Yanks are holding on at zeros. Meanwhile, the Boston Red Sox, who can bring full chaos into this if they lose to the Nats, they find themselves down 5-1. Sale gets the quick hook. And it's kind of like, okay. They're getting shut down by the rookie and making his first start. Joan Adon. We never looked that up for the Nats, but he does his thing. Garrett Richards comes in, gets touched up. That made it 5-1. The Red Sox, man, they fight back. Vasquez infield single. Devers RBI single. Verdugo with the big 2 RBI double. They are tied at 5 into the 9th. Meanwhile, in Yankee land, it's still 0-0 into the 9th. They put together a little rally against Josh Fleming. Kind of the last Rays pitcher they used. Someone came in and relieved him. But kind of not part of their playoff formula. The Yankees do get to him, and Judge hits a line drive off Kittredge, literally hits off his glove. Tyler Wade scores. Yankees walk it off 1-0 as the eyes turn back to Washington, and Rafael Devers in the top of the 9th goes 447 to deep center to give the Red Sox a 7-5 when Nick Pivetta came out of the pen to shut down the ninth. Struck out Soto on 3 pitches. Heater. Curveball that started above his head and dropped in the zone looking. Watch out for him in postseason baseball. Red Sox win 7-5. Yankees win 1-0. Sorry, Toronto Blue Jays, who blew out Baltimore 12-4. They needed a little help on today. They didn't get it. They've got to be kicking themselves for a couple losses down the stretch. And the Seattle Mariners, they lose yesterday. Their kind of miracle run comes to an end. So the American League wild card is set. The Boston Red Sox host the New York Yankees at Fenway Park tomorrow night, Tuesday. And what will be a game that gets remembered. That's how Yankees-Red Sox works. Those games don't get forgetting over time. So get ready for that. And meanwhile, in the National League, somewhat what we've expected for a while, the Dodgers will host the St. Louis Cardinals. The San Francisco Giants hold them off by winning on the final day. Dodgers can't make up that final game, so they will go into the one-game playoff against Waino, Jack Flaherty, Arenado, and the Cards. So 2 teams will see. Seasons will end in the next 48 hours, 24, 72 hours.
Yes.
Something like that. We're a math pod. And now let's talk about what all that really means. But that Jakey breakdown of what happened yesterday from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. was brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. We're going to talk a little NFL today. Tom went back to New England. That was the nightcap. The game could have been a little more fun, but we'll talk about it. There's a lot of emotions. And we've been gambling. BBD's been placing a lot of bets. Big boy bets. And he's cleaning up. At DraftKings Sportsbook, it's the official sports betting partner of the NFL. And week 5, we've got a deal for every fan to jump on. You bet $1 and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. Okay. So if you pick a game to bet on and either team scores, you get $100. Do I need to break that? That sounds like one of my ridiculous ad reads I've been doing.
It sounds like free money.
That sounds like me doing the, do you want $100 or do you not want $100? And that's what DraftKings is doing. The last 0-0 tie in the NFL was 1943, so there is risk. There is risk. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. They have huge cash prizes for their daily fantasy sports contest. And by the way, it'll be coming to your state soon. It's coming everywhere. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Throw down $1 on an NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. That's promo code JOHNBOY this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, PA only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Aren't Indiana 1-800-9 with it, but that's not on there. I wonder if Indiana joined the phone number gang.
Yeah.
That would have made sense from the start.
They should have gotten involved because it didn't feel like it needed to not include Indiana.
Interesting. We're going to follow up on that later. Man, chat, what's going on? I've got the chat pop this morning. Rob Vandervoort, B. Skrills, Normal Dog, Jill, Jeremy, Daniel, Uncle Paulie, Ed. Thank you guys, Travis. Everyone. You guys are the best. Appreciate you joining me this morning. And BBD. I think we got to do playoff baseball. We'll talk about the matchups. Maybe we'll make some picks. I think Chris Rose texted this morning. And he was like, we should all make picks and make a graphic. And we're like, that's probably smart. It's probably not a bad idea.
Tomorrow we're doing a talking baseball bracket thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to be a surprise. We can say that.
No, yeah.
We did it last year.
Yeah. And we still do have time to release it tomorrow. Okay, so we won't make picks. Dude, the wild card for the NCAA basketball tournament, you've got the 12 seeds that play in now. And it's whatever. Like, it's a little frustrating because you're like, well, you know,
Just
a 12,
principle.
a 12 can beat a 5, any NCAA tournament.
It feels like every year there's some 12 that cracks a Sweet 16.
It's like the joke of the NCAA tournament, like a 12 versus a 5.
Pick one.
So the fact they do the play-in game, that's a little tough, but it's not going to affect your, like, champion, your Final Four. MLB, like the Dodgers, they lose one baseball game and they're out. If they win, they're the National League favorites?
As is.
Are they currently the National
currently
League
the
favorites?
betting favorite.
Do you know how nuts that is?
I just got the alert right before. Speaking of DraftKings, and let's see if they've got the same odds on that.
If you like another NL team, I'm wearing my Brewers shirt right now. Get your bet in now, because if the Dodgers do advance, they're going to be massive favorites. You know why? Because they have 4 stud pitchers. And their lineup's gross. Boston gave them Mookie Betts. Hate that. Mm-hmm. Got some odds?
On DraftKings, Dodgers are the favorite, plus 390.
Okay.
So it's still decent. If
Yeah,
you
that's
just feel
still-
good about them, you'll get a good return on that.
But like if they win Wednesday, that goes to like 150.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious how much
Maybe.
that'll shift once they're like in a series.
Keep
They're-
going on that.
If you like the Dodgers, get the bet in
Yeah,
now.
I guess that's the other side of it.
Then Astros are second, White Sox, Giants, Rays, Brewers, Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Cardinals in that order.
So do that. That's all the favorites?
That's just the order rank among, I believe those are all the teams remaining.
World Series favorites.
World Series odds.
All right, do it again.
So this is just in order, not reading the odds because that's just a lot to read.
Right.
Dodgers, Astros, White Sox, top 3. Giants, Rays, Brewers, next 3. Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Cardinals, bottom 4.
Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Cardinals, bottom 4.
Yankees, Braves have same odds. Rays, Brewers have same odds.
Okay.
White Sox, Giants have same odds.
How about that?
It's
Felt like
Dodgers.
someone got lazy there.
Dodgers, little gap, then the Astros, big gap, little gap, then big gaps.
So Astros are the AL
There's some
favorites.
clear-
That
some
probably
clear tiers there.
that might surprise some people. I mean, if you've been deep in talking baseball, we've been trying to tell you guys from the start that they are El Grosso.
And White Sox, Giants, Rays, Brewers are all essentially the same odds, plus
Right, in the
700, plus 750.
Right in the same
They're,
ballpark.
they're
Okay.
in their own tier.
So with that, let's do the baseball in order. We'll do some playoff stuff. We'll get you set, and then we'll be deep diving and painting a lot of the picture on talking baseball today, tomorrow. Trev comes out. He lands tonight, and we'll be live streaming the wild card games. That's gonna be fun. Having Uncle Trev out, brother Trev. He's not an uncle. Don't live in a hotel. The Boston Red Sox play the New York Yankees tomorrow night. And again, expectations. I laid this out on Talking Yanks. The Yankees coming in to this season were the American League betting favorites. Do what you want with that. I think sometimes the Yankees get a little more juice because they were the Yankees. Like if the White Sox were the Yankees roster and the Yankees were the White Sox before the season, I still think the Yankees would have been the favorite. Like, I think as a Yankees, like,
Just
more
some
people
Yankees
gamble on the
credit.
Yankees. Like, I'm going to place a bet to win. I'm going to pick the Yankees. That could be so wrong, but I believe it. And, man, we will see. 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It's going to be Nate Eovaldi versus Garrett Cole. The last time the Yankees saw Nate Eovaldi, they lit him up. 2.2, 7 earned runs. no strikeouts. They had a tip on him. Since that game, he had one start and he was 6 innings shutty. So either he figured out the tip and he corrected it, or the Yankees know it, and I think the other team was the Orioles, and they didn't.
I was going to say he might have. There's a chance he was just facing the Orioles.
If I had to guess, I would guess the Red Sox figured it out. They've got a lot of players and guys and scouts that probably spent a lot of time figuring out whatever the hell the Yankees figured out against them. On the other side, it is Garrett Cole, the $300+ million man. He's probably going to finish second or third in the Cy Young this year. He had a chance to win it and didn't fall apart down the stretch, but he wasn't great.
He backpedaled into the
backpedaled is a good way to put it, PBD. Now, against the Boston Red Sox this year, Garrett Cole has had 3 starts, 5 innings, 3 earned. 5 innings, 5 earned. That was at Fenway. 4 starts, 6 innings, 3 earned. His one start at Yankee Stadium, so 4 starts against the Red Sox, was 6 inning, 1 earned run, 11 Ks. So that's already infuriating me that the Yankees have to go to Fenway. Because, again, this weekend they played the Rays for 3. They lost the first 2 to a Rays team that was playing for nothing. Nada. Zilch. Maybe they wanted 100 wins, but it didn't matter. And I will also say, with the way the playoffs are formatted and the ways pitchers are used now, the last series, I feel like, used to be a much bigger advantage. But we did it with the days off and stuff. Like, the Rays used all their good pitchers.
Yeah.
Like, every series this weekend, like, you got an abbreviated version. Like, the Brewers didn't matter.
They weren't going to stretch anyone out.
No, you're not going to see anyone go 115 or whatever. But, like, the good guys in the bullpen are still going to pitch their inning, and they're still going to try to do good.
They're going to be in the series.
So that might be a stereotype we get away from a little bit.
Yeah. That's a wild card game in many ways has helped that because it's not like everyone just starts 2 days later.
Right. That's definitely
relievers. There was still time to use everybody once in a series, I guess, but
yeah. So we'll see.
40-man stuff.
40-man stuff. We'll see with Garrett. He's going to empty the tank. It's tough to imagine him having a bad day at the office. The Yankees bullpen has as much depth as it has in a long time. It has really come together. I mean, Luis Severino, who's supposed to be their number 2 starter on this team, is back in a bullpen role and potentially can give 2 innings if he looks good. He did that against Boston.
I would guess if they truly needed it, he can go a third if he's being
It would
efficient.
be interesting, if he looks good.
It'd be the first time they use him more than 2. So
if he looks good, that being said, the Yankees love their formula, and they can get 1+ from Clay Holmes. They could get 1+ from Chad. Johnny Lozano was doing that before he went down.
He got 4 outs yesterday, I think, right?
Did he?
I think he's the one that got.
He
to finish,
rolled over.
He had the end of 7th and the 8th.
Okay.
Chapman for the 9th.
So perfect.
So he's gotten more than 3 outs.
So the Yankees, and there were times this year the Yankees did not have a bullpen. Albert Abreu, who, without a couple injuries, probably wouldn't have been on the wild card roster. Still might not be. I think he will be. We'll crunch the numbers, Talking Yanks, later today.
There's going to be a Talking Yanks after this, or we figure it all out.
There was a couple weeks this year where he was like a setup guy.
He's done like a good job in important innings for the most part this year. Bad taste in their mouths from just a couple bad
some recent stuff, but still, it's just that bullpen has changed a lot. I mean, Chad got worn out, Johnny got hurt. Sevy wasn't around, and those guys could be your 4 innings leading up to Chapman easily. Never mind Clay Holmes has been absolutely gross. So Garrett's going to have a shorter leash than probably he likes, but it's one game. And the Red Sox, they're going to go with Eovaldi. Again, they're playing wild card rules. Their bullpen has been fluid all year. Is that the best way to put it?
I like that.
they're going to be all hands on deck. We've seen Cora in their incredible postseason run. They're not shy to use whoever. Chris Sale got a quick hook the other day. I wouldn't be surprised if they need an inning that they would go to him. Like, they will be all hands on deck. Garrett Whitlock pitched 10 pitches yesterday.
I was going to ask if he pitched again before coming back.
The young rookie who came over from the Yanks, by the way, in the Rule 5 draft, he is back, so that's an inning, if not two, if he's right.
Yeah. Maybe he's in just a one-inning role, but it's an emergency.
Either way, that's an inning. That's a big inning. And Nick Pivetta, who, by the way, he closed out Sunday's game, and he looked gross doing it. So that's going to be interesting. I mean, Matt Barnes, I don't know. I don't know. His season was good, but lately he hasn't been. Richards went to the pen and was good, but he's been knocked around. Hansel Robles, he's got the 2 saves previous to Pivetta the other day. So you'd have to assume they want Nate for 5 or 6 if he looks good. And then you're looking at Whitlock, Robles, Pivetta, maybe Sale if he's available. Houck.
Yeah, in a couple days he can probably get you an inning.
They're all hands on deck.
As his throw day. He's done it, so.
They will be all hands on deck. So that's
I know for a while they were like they struggled as a unit like to lefties. So I don't know if that's straightened out with moving some guys to the bullpen since then, but like I know Whitlock and Ottavino both have like famously not had the most efficiency against lefties, and so maybe the Gallo-Rizzo trades loom large there. If that
we'll
scares them
see.
out of it
I mean, man, one game in
Giancarlo.
baseball is so messed up, and you got the Schwarber-Rizzo side of this. JD
so
Martinez, he's kind of that's really cool. Schwarber the other day was really cool being in Washington for Avila and Zimmerman retiring. That was awesome. Jose Iglesias has been playing so much for the Red Sox. He's not going to be there. That's almost something you got to circle, that whoever gets the start instead of him, there's going to be a lot of eyes on them because it's kind of like you haven't been around recently. That's really weird.
JD's banged up. Not that he's a great outfielder, but I would assume he's going to play and going to be at DH.
You'd assume he'd DH.
I would assume they figure that out, but then what do they do? Because Kike might have to play second. He's done a lot of positions.
Or if he's really banged up, he's their like pinch hit threat.
Yeah.
So
do it.
This is where baseball is beautiful, and it's why baseball people are so lost in it, and sometimes on the national stage it gets lost. I mean, you know, me and BBD live on the Yankees, which means, you know, as an attachment to that, we live a lot of Red Sox baseball, and we're still doing a lot of guessing right now.
Yeah.
Where Yankees stuff, I mean, think about some of the guys we named in the bullpen. If you're a San Francisco Giants fan, you probably shouldn't know Clay Holmes.
They do know Wandy.
They do know Wandy Peralta, and they're lucky too. We all are. Jays, man, I got hot on the Jays for a little bit. I pretty much promised people they would be in the playoffs. They had a couple losses that they got to regret big time down the stretch. That being said, they're going to be scary next year. Who are they losing?
I mean, just Simeon and Ray hit free agency.
Simeon and Ray, okay.
They're both gonna be top 3 in the awards.
Those guys are gonna get paid, and I forget who said it. And if it was you, BBD, I'm sorry, or if it was someone in the chat, I already know where Robbie Reyes playing next year.
Don't think I said it. So,
It could have just been a tweet. I forget where. Robbie Ray will be an Angel next year. He's going to be the guy they make their splash on.
They finally pull the trigger.
And then he's going to be away from his old pitching coach, and it's not going to be great.
Unlocked.
Like, it's just,
everything.
It's so Angel. Someone told me that, and I was like, whoa. That makes too much sense.
Yeah, they finally open up the checkbook.
Should we pay $300 million for Garrett or $215 for Rob?
I'm getting a nice payday.
And then
the peripheral stuff's always liked him.
Yeah. His strikeouts are gross. That's why the Angels.
To talk about.
That's why the Angels are going to talk themselves into him, because his strikeouts have always been there. And shout out to the Mariners. They had their miracle run. They fought till the end, pretty much. That call from over the weekend is as good as it gets.
So good.
It's as good as it gets in sports and baseball and anything. And the Mariners, talk about, hey, that's a fan base that's been hungry. That's a fan base that shows they like to be excited for sports. The Seahawks, the Sounders. If that Mariners team could find a little juice, and I think they have, J.B. Crawford is a real ball player. Ty France had a good year. That Toro trade is going to pay off. Kelnick, he's 22, man. That guy's supposed to be, like, special.
And his September was good.
And they've got a couple other bodies. Julio Rodriguez is a huge prospect. He's supposed to get the call next year. You know,
a couple pitchers.
They're going to make a couple moves in free agency, maybe a trade if it's out there because they do have some capital. But, I mean, think about, like, their free agent signing this year was James Paxton, who, did he throw one game?
I think
Did
he got into one.
Ken Giles was on Seattle. He got signed as a free agent, so that didn't work. So, good for the Mariners. Hell of a year.
Got 4 outs.
Jesus. That's tough.
Sucks. 5 batters faced.
And Mariners, hey, their bullpen, it's funny, man. These team stats, I got to start tweeting these out. Mariners were kind of a bad hitting team this year. They were 27th in OPS. So, that's the easiest thing to kind of fix. Like, you got a prospect or two, and you sign 2 free agents, one impact one and one Eddie Rosario or someone like that that hits.
They'll give you a carrying tool that.
And with the Athletics going one direction, the M's are going another.
I feel like they're at the point where they start selling people.
Okay.
Olsen's at his max value.
That's the American League. That's the wild card. Houston is playing the White Sox, which I feel like there's not a lot of hype around that yet, but they are the 2 most talented teams, I think. And Dusty and La Russa don't like each other. Like, this is what we wanted before the season. I just think this playoff matchup has been lined up for so long that there's not a ton of juice around it yet, but it'll get there. Man, that's going to be big boy baseball. Because that's going to be White Sox are going to be, I don't know which order. White Sox fans, you're going to have to correct me, but Giolito, Lance Lynn, Rodon, and Cease. Cease has had a really good year. The numbers love Dylan Cease, Jimmy's disc golf partner.
He was a top prospect for them for a while. There's expectations.
Yeah, he's 25. Like, he's 2 years younger than Giolito.
Yeah.
And a reminder, in their bullpen, Liam Hendricks and Craig Kimbrell, you know them. Aaron Bummer and Tepera, you might not know them. In Chicago, they do. They're good. And then Kopech and Crochet. I mean, that's just different kinds of gross from both sides. You need a righty, Kopech. You need a lefty, Crochet. They are going to be able to pitch every inning toe-to-toe with you, and their pitching might not even be the strength of their team. Tim Anderson, Luis. Is it Robert or Robert? I've tricked myself so many times.
I'm pretty sure Robert.
Luis Robert. Jimmy just said Robert. That's where I get confused. So he's allowed Robert.
He's good with Robert.
Luis, we are a dumb society, man.
You gotta just tell us which one you prefer, man.
Well, hopefully he announces himself as Luis Robert this playoffs. Jose Abreu, Yasmani Grandal, Eloy Jimenez, Yohan Moncada. It does get a little thin at the bottom of that lineup. Oh, they had Gavin
Got banged
Sheets.
up, and Eaton wasn't good for them when they DFA'd him.
Lurie Garcia, Cesar Hernandez. Oh, they don't have Vaughn in this lineup.
Yeah, I think their playoff lineup has to have. I guess they might like him as a pinch hit.
I think him and Sheets, maybe they got a righty-lefty thing going on there.
Yeah, that can track.
Robert. Someone typed the words Roe and Bear, which I liked a lot.
It looked like the only thing that's maybe been announced is McCullers is going to start game 1 for Houston, which tracks.
Wow, yeah, he's technically at the best year of that starting staff. McCullers, Framber, Odo, Urquidy, and Garcia. Interested to see how they play that. Urquidy, I know they had fun with him coming out of the bullpen in the past. Luis Garcia, man, that guy is special. He's got a lot of arm talent, and he is fun. And, man, the Astros have a couple guys in their bullpens who had really nice years. Presley, Graveman, Stanek, and Yimi Garcia. Brooks Reyes pitched for them, the lefty, in some big games before, Blake Taylor. And I didn't even mention Greinke yet, who is on the IL, and he threw 28 pitches out of the bullpen yesterday. So there's a storyline for you. Man, it moves quick.
I think Odo's last appearance is out of the pen. He's had kind of a weird year.
He's had a weird year kind of from the rip. And he just came off the IL, too. He came off the IL 9/26, so maybe he's a pen piece for them. And by the way, the Astros still have Altuve, Brantley.
His bullpen appearance was in June. I don't know why I thought.
Okay. That wasn't recent. Altuve, Brantley, Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Yuli Gurriel, Carlos Correa, and Kyle Tucker, who arguably had the best year of all of them, hitting 7th. Maldonado, who just seems to always find his way behind the dish for this team. It's him and Jason Castro, maybe they're split.
Yeah, he's somehow always the one that clips, yeah.
And then Chas McCormick. Too many C's. But, yeah. Houston, the betting favorite to come out of the AL, and not a lot of teams are talking about them. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Rays will be waiting for the Yankees Boston winner. And the Rays are just gross. They have guys that pitch every inning. You probably don't know them, but they're gross. Their lineup is better than I think a Rays team has been in a long time. Maybe if you go back to some of those Carl Crawford, Carlos Pena, Longoria teams.
Like that. One of those first, competing teams.
How about this? I think when you look back and you compare this team and you see a young Wander Franco, I think that's going to be impactful. What Brandon Lau has done this year. Nelson, there's going to be a day when old Nelson Cruz and Wander Franco being teammates is really cool. Nelson Cruz is 41. Wander's 20.
He's literally double his age. Wander's 20 and a half. Cruz is 21.
That's nuts.
41.
Man. Nelson Cruz has lived double the life of Wander Franco. Literally and figuratively. Austin Meadows, Arozarena, what Joey Wendell is in a playoff game. Zunino has one of the best catcher seasons. And Kiermaier. And by the way, they can casually pinch hit him at any time and go to Manny Margot or Brett Phillips, who are incredible defenders like Kiermaier. So when they lose Kiermaier, they almost don't lose him.
They have a bunch of... On the one hand, they have more regular starters than they kind of have had in recent years, and on the other hand, no, the bench guys are just as good.
Anyone could start any game, and you won't be surprised.
Regular season, they start them all.
Oh, in the chat, I miss Baldelli and Crawford. Yeah, those were teams. Those were teams. And yeah, the Rays have gross pitching. Again,
they can sub anybody anytime.
Names you might not be wildly familiar with, but Kittredge, Fairbanks, Pringle Fairbanks, Colin McHugh, D-Rob, my guy, Chargois, Fireheisen, Patino, McClanahan, Baz. I think he's going to be a star this postseason. So they're waiting for whatever ALT.
Whistler's kind of gross.
They're all gross. They're waiting for whatever AL East team advances. National League, we talked about a little bit. Cardinals, Dodgers. I mean, holy cow. Dodgers are still, with a one game to decide their season, they're the Vegas favorites to win the National League. And, you already know why. It's Scherzer, it's Urias, it's Buehler. I don't even know what they're doing with Kershaw. Is he just going to be out? Got to look into that. Oh, my God. Cole Hamels is on their IL.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They went and got him for fun. I don't think he was active for any game.
That's a weird screenshot. He definitely wasn't.
He didn't play a game this year.
Their IL starting pitchers are Danny Duffy. Forgot about that trade. Cole Hamels, who they signed and never pitched. Clayton Kershaw, maybe one of the best to ever do it. And then Dustin May, who was Tommy John.
Went out in his first game this year.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, Scherzer's going to get the pill to start. I wouldn't be surprised if Urias is ready to follow. Kenley. Dude, Kenley Jansen, man. Dude, him and Kershaw, like, I hope they spend a nice day on a boat together one day and talk about how good they are. Because Kenley has such a weird rep in the baseball world. And he had a monster year this year. Him and Trinan. Knievel's back there. Joe Kelly always finds a way. Brusdar Gratterall. One-game playoff. You know a lot of the names in that lineup. Mookie, Seager, Trey Turner. People want him to get the MVP. Max Muncy gets hurt the other day. That's going to be interesting to follow. People are making it sound like he's not going to play.
Sounds like wild card game. They're leaning more out than in, but I guess it's not. There's no chance.
By the way, like, go look at stats. If you look at pure stats, Max Muncy has an argument to be like the best first baseman the last 3-4 years. So that's not just a casual loss.
Yeah.
If he's out. AJ Pollock's had a great year. Cody Bellinger has not, but waiting for his moment. Hopefully we see handsome Albert Pujols show his shining face in this game. That's a storyline too. St. Louis, Pujols. Oh. Wow.
How is this the first time we've connected those dots?
I mean, that's going to happen.
There's a big at-bat, and I don't know what's going to happen in it, but Pujols is pinch hitting.
Dude, if there's Albert in the box with Molina behind the plate and Waino on the mound, like a sixth-inning pinch hit, if you're a Cardinals fan, like, turn off the TV for a minute.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
He's out.
Ugh. Not for me. And your Cardinals, we talked about their run they went on to get here. Paul Goldschmidt, crazy year. Arenado being Nolan Arenado. Mentioned Yachty and Waino. Waino's season isn't good for an old Adam Wainwright. It's good for any starting pitcher this year. And they got some dudes back there. Giovanni Gallegos. He was the guy they got for Luke Voit. Remember when the Yankees and Luke Voit won that trade? Cardinals really like their closer.
They're okay with it.
They really like their closer. Alex Reyes, if he comes into a playoff game, that's got to be scary. He's had a huge year, but he's been known to walk the park. Genesis Cabrera throws from a gross arm angle, and by the way...
I just now found out he's left-handed.
Oh, Cabrera?
Yeah, haven't watched a lot of cards.
Dude, for some reason, I love him.
Well, it's a great name.
I think he made his playoff debut, and I saw it, and he just throws from a gross arm angle. But, like, in a cool way, like a Randy Johnson, Chris Sale kind of way. Kwang-Un Kim is in their bullpen, and so is our friend Jack Flaherty, who's had a couple bullpen appearances as his season has gotten derailed a couple times. But, boy, could he be an impact piece for him. I mean, the whole thing we gave about Luis Severino. Meet Jack Flaherty.
And Jay Flair, when he got the first injury this year, was one of the 4 guys we were talking about for Cy Young stuff. So,
yeah,
at that time,
he was a best young pitcher in baseball discussion. Him, yeah. Walker Buehler.
I mean, still is.
Just
this year got derailed a bit.
Tyler O'Neill, my fire hydrant, had a huge year this year. So that's going to be a fun game, man. Dodger Stadium's going to be rocking. Man, we talked about, I mentioned it. There's some implications involved. With this Yankees team, again, this Yankees team was supposed to be, they were the Vegas favorites, baby bombers. This was supposed to be like the next period of time for them. If they lose in a one-game wild card to the rebuilding Red Sox, it's kind of over. It's turning the page.
Change how they're doing stuff.
In a fun way for talking Yanks, it opens up a lot of conversations because there's going to be last year, we were kind of like, there's only so much they can do. They're going to add a couple pitchers and they're going to roll it out.
Unless they were going to move on from DJ, there wasn't like a lineup shift to be made
If this
at
team,
like an off-season level.
This team goes down in the wild card, or even if they win and they went down easy to the Rays, we're talking a lot about, Luke Voigt already.
Mm-hmm.
Clint, Gary, what's going on with Gio, Glaber?
Andujar not really part of the team, but figure out what's
Aaron
up with
Hicks.
him.
Like, there's so hey, I'm not gonna get myself hyped for how crazy that'll be yet, but the Los Angeles Dodgers, they're like a super team. I was gonna say this is the equivalent to LeBron playing in a one-game playoff, but he kind of did that this year, and it's a little different. Man, two old men pitcher on the mounds, two good baseball franchises. I know sometimes we get sucked into the AL because we're AL guys, we're Yankees fans. But man, that NL game is going to be awesome.
That's really cool.
I haven't been able to get excited for that as a Yankee fan yet, but like with Trev here, that's a huge game.
Our emotions will be settled by then, so that's kind of going to just be fun.
Jay Flair's going to be pitching in a huge inning. That's our guy. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. What else is going on in the National League? Even Brewers, Braves, that's lined up for a while now.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be a series.
It's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be a series. Don't sleep on the Braves.
The Braves are good, and I guess they've played like an extended amount of good baseball.
Good baseball, important baseball.
Winning baseball.
Like important winning baseball for a little while, where the Brewers have kind of thrown in cruise control.
Yeah. And the Brewers, I think, are really going to feel the Devin Williams absence.
Yeah, man, that sucks. That sucks.
It really stinks.
That really sucks.
Like the ripple effects of that.
I think the Braves...
In the playoffs, he's like a multi-inning weapon.
I'm going to get ahead of this. I think the Braves are going to be a sexy pick over the Brewers because they've got the playoff experience.
The last couple stimulators.
Fried and Morton can go toe-to-toe with Woodruff or Burns or Peralta. Again, I just said three names, so that's where the Brewers do have an advantage. But we'll see if Ion Anderson has a start.
Any given day, those guys can be just as good.
But and they, Freddie Freeman's the best hitter in that series.
Yeah, I think if the Braves get one of those games in Milwaukee, they'll feel pretty good because.
Interesting.
That's when we start getting into the Devin Williams ripple effect stuff. Like they're gonna lean on dudes.
I haven't even thought about that.
Hader's gonna have to pitch 2 innings each of the first 2 games.
God damn it, Yankees! I haven't even been able to think about okay, well, if we steal one at their place and then we get back to home field, I haven't even been able to do that yet. But it's that time of year, so we'll do some of that going forward. And there's gonna be a lot of baseball. You guys already know, John Boy Media. We kind of industry leaders, whatever. We're doing Talking Baseball after this, 11:30, so we got to start wrapping this up quick. We're playing Bino tonight, tournament, not baseball, technically. Maybe we'll talk some baseball during it, but it's the game of the future, people are saying. So we'll be live streaming that, and we got all sorts of technology set up. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think Joe's and Jolly are playing before me and Jim, a little undercard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be huge. Then we're live streaming the next 2 nights, the wild card games. We're streaming basically every night. I think we're taking Saturday off. And then, Chris Rose is running hot because he's a baseball guy. He loves baseball. So he's going to be doing stuff. Trev's going to be out here. We're going to be having a lot of fun. Missed a FaceTime from Peter Moylan this morning. Scared. He sent the classic when you FaceTime someone and they don't pick up screenshot of just their face wanting to FaceTime, and it's scary. It's a scary.
He texted that to you after.
Yeah, it's a scary screenshot. He's a scary man. So much baseball coming up. Excited. Meanwhile, I didn't mention the San Francisco Giants at all. Best record in Major League Baseball. They'll be waiting for either the Dodgers or the Cardinals. Gabe Kapler giving speeches on the field. I can't talk about that. BBD, let's wrap up some footy real quick. Because there was the highlight this week. Maybe we'll reverse engineer this one. I normally go through the timeline, but this kind of ended because there was no baseball. There was no other sports. I think the NFL gods planned it this way, that Tom returns to New England.
There's nothing to directly compete with.
Yeah, like this is it. And I don't think anything wanted to compete with this. I think that was a win for both sides.
Ugly.
Ugly.
That said, I haven't seen one thing from it.
Dude, it was
So
an
fill me
ugly
in.
game, man. It was 6-7 at the half. Brady didn't have a touchdown pass, I don't think.
I don't think so. I know. Ronald,
He didn't.
Ronald Jones, that's his name.
Ronald Jones
ran
the
it in.
second. So yeah, Mac Jones, he actually got hot for a while. I think he completed 19 straight passes. The game kind of ends with a missed field goal, doink, by the Patriots, a 56-yarder in the rain by Nick Folk. Like, it's kind of not how you wanted this game to end. Yeah, the game kind of had no juice. Obviously, a lot of emotions going on. This kind of reminded me, maybe this is a really dumb comparison. Whenever the Williams sisters used to play, people would get so excited. But their matches usually were kind of bad. Because I don't know, I just think at the end of the day, there's something weird about two siblings like playing it out on the main stage.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of not natural for what sports are supposed to be. Like you're supposed to 100% want to beat your opponent, and I don't think you can do that.
You'd be like genuinely
As
happy
siblings.
for your
So, and yeah, I don't think that's a perfect comparison for Brady and Belichick. I think Belichick's a sick pup that probably wanted to contain Tom any way he could. But, dude, everything leading up to this game was like, Tom's going to embarrass the Patriots. He's so mad how it ended. He's Jordan. This game it's kind of bug stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we'll just
At
churn.
least the screenshot of the hug I saw seemed nice.
Yeah, it was like so quick, and it's so ridiculous how much. And this obviously isn't shot fired, but it's we hold on to that stuff, and we're gonna see that picture like forever, like Tampa Brady with Belichick. And dude, it was so quick, and I was just laughing because it was like in the
the
sports
only thing
world.
I've seen
In the
from it-
sports world, this is so important, and it's nothing.
It's going to be
Absolutely
part of
nothing.
several conversations
Yeah.
moving forward.
Uh,
I've only seen the screenshot the Patriots tweeted.
Nice.
So.
A nice moment. Bengals, they won the Thursday night game. They go to 3-1. Jaguars 0-4, and Urban Meyer. I only looked into that a little bit, but there's pictures of him
I
at a
didn't want
bar
to look into it more.
with
than
like
I
a
already
girl in
did.
his lap, and he's supposed to be
There's
this
like a couple pictures.
family. Yeah, man, I think there's kind of a lot of evidence that Urban
the
Meyer
sock.
might not be the best dude. Anyways, my Broncos lose to the Ravens. Both teams are 3-1. This was the Broncos' first test, and looks a little bit like a fail. Didn't watch this game, but yeah, that doesn't look good for my Horsies. Washington football team. This was supposedly kind of a crazy game. Taylor Heineke doing his kind of Fitzpatrick impression, couple crazy throws. Scary Terry McLaurin, he's a stud. Washington goes to 2-2, and in the NFC East that plays. The Falcons, they drop to 1-3. Matt Ryan playing better. Maybe that's important. Oh my God. I might have to get the clip. I know Matty Mass has been getting involved in these. Bills Texans 40-0. Bills. And I think I said that one was looking to be ugly.
Yeah, I think you did.
Ooh, 40-0. That's as bad as it gets for an NFL game. My God.
Well, that one wouldn't be a winner in the DraftKings promo for this week.
Jeez.
Need
No.
both teams to score a point.
No. I think you only need one.
Oh, it said
Let me
both.
see.
Well, then you're good.
If either team scores a
Either,
point. So you
okay.
still would have been good. Bears, hey, they're 2-2. Good for you, Bears. Our Lions go to 0-4. That sucks. But so this is what I was like. Justin Fields is playing for them. I don't think he's doing anything special. But like, I talked about this with my Broncos. Yeah, Justin Fields. It's not a good stat line even, but David Montgomery has a huge game. Like, I think I'd almost rather be a Bears fan that's 2-2 with Justin Fields than be a Broncos fan that's 3-1 with Teddy Bridgewater.
And Bridgewater's like out now, right?
Because, like, at least I could get excited for hopefully the next 5 years
He's
of Justin
building towards
Fields.
something.
That
one sack for a 24-yard loss. Did I read that?
Bridgewater leaves the game with a concussion. I don't like that. So, hey, you guys have seen me flip-flop on Teddy already. Rhymed. So come back and be good, Teddy, but good for the Bears. They're supposed to full suck, and they're not doing that. Panthers-Cowboys. Play kind of a good one. Cowboys get a big lead. Panthers fight back a little bit. Cowboys win at home 36-28. Cowboy fever is going. They play the Giants this weekend, which Sonny at the front desk said, watch out for the Giants. So Colts beat the Dolphins. This was kind of our all-gross game. This is the first I'm seeing anything from it. Woof, don't care. Browns beat the Vikings 14-7 in a game played in 1994. Yeah, this game was 11-7 for like the whole second half. That had to be a bad watch. Bad watch.
Could have been good.
Speaking of good watches, BBD's Giants, talking Giants, they get some life. Let's go. They win an OT over the Saints. Daniel Jones with a big game, 400 yards passing. Saquon Barkley with a big game. Hey, they're using their big draft picks. Happy for the talking Giants guys. They kind of needed this. Giants fans needed this. Season's not back on, but season's not over.
If you beat the Cowboys next week, we can start talking.
Season's
again.
on, yeah.
We can just start talking about it.
Which at least they get the opportunity for that. And then the other New York sports, babe. The Jets won.
Also in overtime.
The Jets won. They beat the Titans, who, again, if you've heard us talk about the Titans, they've been a really good football team the past few years. Man, good for the Jets. Like, it's when you're the Jets and you're kind of a joke, it's easy to be that. And they didn't. They won in MetLife. Zach Wilson does enough. 297 passing, 2 tutties and a pick. Derrick Henry had 33 carries in this game. Football teams, like, try. I know that sounds dumb, but good for the New York Jets, man. How about New York sports yesterday? Chiefs beat the Eagles 42-30. Had to be some good fantasy stats in that box score. Yeah, Tyreek Hill, 3 touchdowns.
They did their job and
Mahomes
took care
with
of
5.
business.
Mahomes with 5.
Yep. But I guess if you're a Chiefs fan, still worried, he gave up 30 points in this one. But
yeah, you probably can't get excited about this.
You didn't quell your.
Jalen Hurts has a really good stat line, and he looked really bad the other day. The other team, the Cardinals, undefeated Cardinals versus undefeated Rams. Trevor Plouffe at this game. Cardinals win 37-20. Kyler, his MVP betting lines numbers have to be looking pretty good / getting low. He's got a couple highlights from this game that are gross. Go check out. I think he had like a 3rd and 16 scramble that it looks like Pee-wee football. And maybe it's, not to be a shot fired at my short king, but maybe it's because he's shorter. But, like, he just does stuff on an NFL field that you're like, I've never seen that work. That doesn't work against pros. But it does for him because he's a freak. They blow out the Rams in L.A. Seahawks beat the Niners. That was a Jakey Joke special, too. I got to start hyping myself more. Russ wasn't going to let them go to 1-3, especially against the Niners. Niners lose their 2 home games. They won their 2 road games. Interesting team that everyone got mad at us for them not being in the playoffs. So there's that. Packers beat the Steelers. Packers are 3-1. They are back on track. Steelers 1-3. They're not. I think they showed a little more fight than people expected. But yeah, they got to get the train on the track soon because otherwise it's gone. It's a tough division. And then the Bucks and Brady. So that's kind of that. Raiders, Chargers tonight. Raiders going for 4-0. Chargers going for 3-1. Carr off to a really good start this season. Not like a Derek Carr good start, just like a good start. Same with Herbert. Chargers are the 3-point favorites. So tune into that after our Bino stream if you want. BBD hopped away. He's come back now. We'll do some comment of the day real quick. Bakers, you guys crushed the last episode. Randy Marsh, somewhat bad news. I'm going to the Mariner game on Sunday. I'm so anxious. Sorry, man.
Can we see the reply?
Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah. That's tough. Let's see. Bryce Newton said, I forget what show it was on, but when you played a video of tortoises going at it, that reminded me of when I was at the St. Louis Zoo, and 1 foot in front of me were 2 massive tortoises going at it. I believe I still have the video I took, LOL. That's pretty good. Tom Bacon, are we in O's and Ryan Mountcastle pod? Dump those snakes and come fly. Tom, I wish I could. I gave the Nationals a chance to win me over, and they turned me away. So, guys, thank you for baking the algorithm. Always good views, good listens. We're up to 4.15 subs. We're sneaking up on 5. End of playoffs, mid playoffs, easily. So thank you guys. Bruh, the night. Anything I like? Urban Meyer's a pretty big bruh. I'm not into that. Who do I like? Who had like a good weekend? Who's a bro?
I've got a couple half points if you want to still think of it.
I'll give Cliff Kingsbury. I was pretty tough on him getting the Cardinals job. They're 4-0 right now, and it looks like Kyler's an MVP candidate. So maybe it's a bruh for me.
Wow.
What do you got, BBD?
A little half point. Daniel Jones, statistically his best game, and he's just kind of balled out all year. He's been good. And I suppose it's not really a bro or bruh of the night, but just I pulled up Garrett Cole stats, and I wanted to just say some irrational stuff. Garrett Cole's last 5 starts, that includes the game where he hurt the hamstring, and then the 4 starts after. It's 26 innings to a 6.15 ERA. And the opponents are hitting well, 311 batting average and a 930 OPS. The Red Sox are a team that they probably, without looking at the splits, I would assume they've gotten him the most this year. Maybe the Rays because that one crazy game. And it all just makes me believe he's going to shove more.
Oh, I like that. There's your spin.
So we're good.
There's your spin.
It's done.
We're home.
I'll change my mind on that 6 times.
Yeah, we will. Guys, thank you so much. Like I said, John Boy Media Network. Go check out Talking Giants for a winner. Talking Yanks and Pinstripe Strong for any of their Yankee stuff you're looking for. Talking Baseball coming up 11:30 now to get into it. J&J TV. We're playing. We're gaming. And guys, tonight, Bino live. And then we're live streaming tomorrow and the next day and pretty much every day after that. So much stuff on the John Boy Media Networks. Baseball today, Rose and Plouffe, you're going to be killing that. You guys are the best. Keep baking the algorithm. We love you. We'll see you Thursday. Let's go, Yanks. Go, Yankees. Not Red Sox. Not the Red Sox.